Thank you for the purchase of your new Hilleberg tent. This film is a supplement to the instruction booklet. We recommend that you both read the booklet carefully as well as practice handling the tent before your first backcountry trip. The Nammatj is an exceptionally strong tent when used correctly, but it does require proper care and handling in order to function to its full potential. While pitching the tent, make it a habit to work in a kneeling position and to always put away loose bags so they don't blow away. It's also important to secure the tent against the wind to your backpack or elsewhere with one of the guy lines. For maximum longevity and durability of your tent poles, it's important that you're careful with them and that you put them together one section at a time. Make sure that each segment is seated properly and that they do not drift apart while pitching the tent. A small gap can lead to pole breakage. We have chosen the best poles on the market for our tents, but it is a lightweight product that requires proper handling. Otherwise, the pole may break and can, in worst-case scenario, lead to danger. Place the ground pegs in your pocket as they need to be close at hand while pitching the tent. If the weather turns foul, it's beneficial to have learned the setup routines. Spread out the tent on the ground and secure one of the ground peg loops on the tent's short side. Fully extend the adjustable peg loop so that you can adjust them later. Press the ground pegs down at a 45-degree angle until only the top of the peg remains visible. Otherwise, the peg risks being pulled out with the onset of heavy wind. Both poles for the Nammatj are of the same length. Insert the pole approximately halfway into the pole sleeve. Then grip the pole and pull the pole sleeve until the pole bottoms completely in the closed end of the sleeve. Place the free end of the pole in the pole tensioner and tighten the strap so that the tensioner is located adjacent to and level with the bottom edge of the tent. The pole sleeves are designed so that you can also have the possibility to use two poles. This increases the stability and strength of the tent in extreme weather conditions. Pull the other end of the tent and spread it out. Make sure it's straight and attach the ground pegs in the corners to the peg loops on their longest setting. Then tighten the peg loop so that the tent is tensioned perfectly. If the tension is poor, the ceiling will hang and your tent will not work optimally. After only these 4 ground pegs in the corners, the tent is ready for use. But do make it a habit to secure all of the pegs as it provides greater stability. Guy lines brace the tent best if they're as long as possible. They should be placed so that the tent is optimally stabilized in all directions. Make sure to insert the ground pegs securely. The most common reason for tent damage is poor anchoring. If you can't get the pegs into the ground by hand, then push or hammer them down with a stone, but do not step on them. If pitching the tent in snow or in sand, Hilleberg's longer and wider snow and sand pegs can replace the pegs that accompanied the tent. Finally, pull the guy lines taut, but do not pull them so tightly that the tent deforms and the pole flattens on top, as this can actually weaken the structure. The entrance of the Nammatj can be opened both from top and bottom and is rolled up and secured with an elastic loop and toggle. Never step on the door panel or let it lay down on the ground because there's a great risk that dirt, sand, or other debris will get into the zipper and damage it. The entrance to the inner tent has a large zip-open hatch leading to an opening covered with no-seam mesh. For maximum ventilation, open the hatch completely. The short sides of the tent have large adjustable vents that are protected by hoods and have both no-seam mesh and a water-repellent and breathable fabric that can be adjusted from inside. Maximum ventilation is obtained when the no-seam mesh is opened. A clothesline and storage pockets make it easy to organize your gear inside the tent. When taking down the tent, repeat every step of the tent assembly process, but in reverse. Make sure the tent is always fastened to your backpack or a similar anchor, and ensure that all the guy lines are fully extended in order to facilitate the next time you pitch the tent. To remove the poles, grip the pole sleeve and, starting at the closed end of the sleeve, push the poles out. Never pull out the poles. As you remove and fold up the poles, check if any of them have been damaged. Then put them, along with the ground peg bag, into the pole bag. If necessary, clean any soiled ground pegs. Fold the tent and roll it around the pole bag and put it into the tent bag. Alternatively, you can store the ground peg bag and pole bag separately. If you want, you can push the tent down into the tent bag instead of folding it, but then you should pack your pole bag separately from the tent. Never store a wet tent for a long period of time. Hang it up to dry as soon as you can, preferably with the poles in place so that the fabrics are kept apart. We do welcome you to visit Hilleberg.com, where you can see our entire collection and learn more about your tent. You can also find out more about Hilleberg the Tent Maker, including our history, philosophy, and how we make our tents. Find out about expeditions that use Hilleberg tents and locate a dealer near you. You will also find information, equipment lists, and practical advice that can help you in planning your next backcountry trip.